Hi there, and welcome to the Color Comics. My name is Aaron, and tonight we're looking at three brand new omnibuses that I got here. I'm very excited to show you these. We got some classic stuff, some, I think, out of print stuff. So, without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so let's start with the one that completes a set. The other volume is in Morocco. As you guys know, I'm in Canada right now. And I picked up the first volume when it initially came out. I was waiting to get the second one because I'm a massive fan of this comic series, and I really want to have the classic stuff. I know a lot of people aren't big on getting some of the kind of the Silver Age stuff, especially when it comes to more modern runs. But for me, I'm a big X-Men fan, and I wanted to have this. So this completes the initial run on X-Men. I do have Volume One. This here is, as you can see, Volume Two, and it's like Thomas, like Roy Thomas works on this one. Drake, Adams, Heck, of course, and Roth. It has issues of the X Men 32 to 66, Avengers number 53, and material from Kazar issues 2 and 3, and Marvel Tales issue 30. So we'll take off the slip. Show you guys what the slip looks like. You can see the side right here. Just the regular stuff. Ronald Drake, Frederick, Don Hex, Werner Roth, Jim Steranko, of course, who did the is famous for doing for the Shield comic, but he's also famous for creating the logo that X Men still use today. So on the side we see the X Men Omnibus right here, and if you open it up, you can see we got a bit of an eye there, so not too bad. Show the inside. One thing I do want to show is that the Silver Age Marvel books include the letter pages, which is like a big deal for me because I want to know what's being said, what's going on back then. So it starts off. We got Polaris, and a nice picture from X Men. It it opens up here. It just gives you the like what's collected, what's in it, and there's a nice table of contents. So it's always good to see a table of contents in these things. Looks like we've got some Not brand Eck there as well. So it starts off with Return of the Juggernaut. And what you see later on in this one here is, and you'll notice a very different look for the X Men like logo. You can see right there, kind of like this different style logo. That's not something if you're an X Men collector, you're not used to because it's very very different from what you'd eventually get. See, it was so hard for them to, and I think I'm gonna check to make sure, but I think issue 50 is where they started with the new logo for the X Men. Trust me, if I get this wrong, somebody's gonna let me know. Yeah, so issue 50, Steranko did this cover right here and created what is the modern day like logo for the X Men, which is still used to this very day. A beautiful Polaris cover. Now a lot of these here, eventually, because of the fact that there was that the X Men weren't popular, like the way they are now, they would do a whole bunch of like stories, spotlight issues. So an issue of the X Men wouldn't deal with the whole team. It would be X Men, starring Cyclops, or the X Men starring the Beast, or the X Men, for one here, for instance, X Men featuring the power of Magneto. Just a whole bunch of different ones put in there, and I do find that it became better, and in my opinion, when Roy Thomas was writing it. Now there's some stuff in the back. We got some like black and white like cover art here as well. Some unused cover art. Some pages, color guides from Neil Adams. So really really interesting stuff like that. I got to meet Neil Adams once, him and his son Josh, and they were extremely nice. But this is the first one right here, X Men Omnibus Volume 2. I'm so excited to have this. This completes my classic X-Men collection. I guess after, and I have X-Men, Uncanny X-Men volumes 1 to 4. So I need to eventually get volume 5, and I need to get X-Men Classic, which is kind of it was a reprint comic, but they'd have like kind of short stories that will kind of fill in things in between. So we'll talk about that another time. But that's number one. But now for Omnibus number two. Sticking with the more classic omnibuses, I've got one here that is a bit divisive for people because it's not like a straightforward one. It does deal with what some would call a compilation omnibus, but it's an important one. So this is August 1961. So at this point, Marvel has done 1961, 1962, and 1963. Each one deals with a certain month of a certain year, based on the character that premiered in that month. And what they do is they take every single like comic that came in the month that the character premiered, and put it into a compilation omnibus with basically comics that will never get thrown omnibus. And you'll see what I mean. So in August of 1961, for those that don't know, it was the premiere of the Fantastic Four, the very first issue of Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family. As you can see, hopefully you can see, this is not a glossy finish as a lot of omnibus are done. It's more of a matte finish. I really like the compilation of covers that you can actually kind of see there in 1961. I like the way that they've done that. And here's the comics that are on the inside of it. So what you're seeing here are basically, which like the Archie comics from big at the time, so there's the Teenage Tornado, like Kathy, like so Kathy was much like an Archie comic, like a Betty Veronica type of thing. Amazing Adventures was one of their monster comics. Journey in a Mystery, kind of like monster type stuff. Before it became to a Thor comic. Life with Millie, Millie the model. Patsy Walker Patsy Walker before she became, the Patsy Walker. That's Hellcat. Tales to Astonish is here. Kid Colt Outlaw, they did Western comic. Tales of Suspense is here. Strange Tales, and Millie the model, because you had a couple ones like the Blonde Bombshell. Linda Carter, not that Linda Carter, Student Nurse. Fantastic Four issue 1 is here. Journey into Mystery is here as well. There's 2 Journey into Mysteries that came out that month. Love Romances is here. The second Amazing Fantasy one is here as well that came out that month. Gunsmoke Westerns, Teenage Romance, Rawhide Kid, and Patsy and Hetty. So it's much like a Betty and Veronica type thing. I really like the way that they have this put together. So I'm going to take off the slip cover and I'll show you guys the slip cover. Then I'll show you what it looks like underneath it. You can see here's the flaps on the inside. You got this regular stuff here. But this is what's really neat. So you can see, like, we got somebody that has a human mask on. So if you open it up, for instance, there it is right here. You can see it has a really decent eye on this one, which it should. It's only 500 something odd pages. You open it up, it's got like a red interior, and we see the Fantastic Four getting together for the first time. I recently read the first omnibus for Fantastic Four. I forgot how well written and how just well constructed those early stories were. And as you can see, they don't just have the contents like by comic. They actually have every story kind of like listed there. So you can see there's a whole bunch of stories in Kathy, like Patsy Walker has a few stories, whole thing. And they try to, there's an introduction by Tom Brevoort here as well. These ones here are ones that were done back in the, obviously 1961. So they had to really remaster these. It took a whole lot of work. So you can see it's very much like the Archie style comic that was kind of popular back in the day. And more than likely, you're never going to see a Kathy omnibus or Millie the Model omnibus or anything along that line. So it's pretty amazing especially if you're a comic fan, a comic historian, to see stuff like that. They'll have all the stories in there. If there's like text stories within there, those will be in there as well. I love these mystery kind of monster stories, kind of with the twist endings. So there's a whole bunch of that there. You get don't tell so astonish, the creature from Krogar. And you'll get like a lot of really, really. I want to get to the. This one's kind of neat. I want to show this. Look at that. Look how creepy that creature looks, man. Um, and like it's a good combination. You got like mystery stuff, like science fiction, horror. Uh, you got comic books. Um, here you go. Here's it starts. Fantastic Four. Absolutely great story, by the way. Wonderful. Like people wonder. It's amazing that like just such uh, a great series, and we haven't gotten to see like there's the Western one right there. See it done really kind of well yet in the theater. So hopefully the next Fantastic Four movie will be the one that gets it right. So I'll be right back with number three. So the next one I'm about to show you, I think it's out of print, and it's a specific run on one of my favorite characters of all time. And whether it be comic or it's books, I grew up reading this character, reading the. So this is Conan. This is specifically the Kurt Busiek, uh, Carrie Nord run on Conan. So what it collects here is Conan Legend Zero, Conan the 2004 series from 1 to 28, then 32 and 39, and then 45 to 46. Conan Book of Thoth, the four-issue miniseries, is there as well, with written by Kurt Busiek, with Fabian Niesa, Len Wein, illustrated by Carrie Nord, Gary Ruth, Thomas Yates, Tom Mandrake, John Severin, Bruce Timm, Michael W. Kaluta, Tim Truman, Eric Powell, Raphael Kianan, and Kelly Jones. So let's look beneath the slip for this one right here and see if it's pretty much same without the text. We'll open it up like this as well, so you can see that it has a very nice eye. You always look for like to have a good eye. Now this is one that I did buy used. Now I will say, if you're a Conan fan, this is not like Conan, like the regular Conan the Barbarian. This was definitely done to be more of for like an older audience, you know, because there's more blood and there's more violence, and there is some nudity in here as well. But we got some beautiful artwork, so I'm going to show you some of this here. Just look at this, and just some incredible stuff. And there's Conan issue one right there. Like, as you guys know, I'm a massive Conan fan. I play Conan Exiles all the time. Uh, and there's some very different art styles here. Some very nice, some uh, almost like you think of like the heavy metal magazine type thing. Look at that. Look at that beautiful artwork right there. Just such a wonderful style, and I'm trying to be very careful with stuff I show. Uh, you know, and I can't show that one. I was just about to show you one. We had beautiful artwork on it, but nope, can't show that page either. It's, but I can show you this one right here. Look, there's some Conan fighting some demons. Again, it's a massive one. There's like some wonderful art, some wonderful different styles here. I love the fact that we get a bunch of these, like the covers, and they're virgin covers, so they don't have the stuff written on them. But I can't show you that either. Yeah, no, there's not a lot I can show. It's Conan, but it's like, but one thing they did is they massively put in a whole bunch of special features at the end. So omnibuses, for those that don't collect them, much like boutique label things. This is a boutique label for a comic. It's the same as you get a boutique label for a movie. So often put in special features. So there are some of the Colossal Conan cover, because there's a massive one done with everything from Dark Horse and that there, and there's a bunch of like line designs here as well. And something that's different that I actually really enjoy is these were put out like in different volumes initially, and every volume had a different like person doing a forward, like so for instance an introduction type thing. So we got a Ed Brubaker doing the introduction for Volume 1, for Volume 0, with Volume 1 being done by Kurt Busiek. So all the introductions are here. You can read them. I always recommend reading the introductions after you've read the comics, because a lot of times they'll have a ton of information, the kind of spoiler stuff in here. There's even an interview with Kurt Busiek in here as well. They have something here about Mark Finn talking about Robert E. Howard, of course, the creator of Conan. So it is a massive book. I lucked into getting this one because this was one that I bought secondhand, and the guy had it, and it was like mint. So I'll definitely be looking towards, like, actually hopefully seeing that guy while I'm here, seeing if he has anything else, especially if he has anything more like kind of like Conan or kind of that style, John Carter, Red Sonja. That Red Sonja doesn't have any really good omnibuses the same as they do, like, because the ones that they do are kind of like regular size, but this is massive. This is the side art right there. Of course, that's the back art for Conan. So that's altogether, that's 3 omnibuses, and I'll try to get them up without breaking my back, because I'll be carrying these back home with me when I go. And 3 that I'm very, very proud of, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. And let me know if you've got any of these, if you plan on picking up any of these, or if any of these are types that you would collect. So let's do it right here. We got Conan the Barbarian by Kurt Busiek and Curry Nord, August 1961, and The X-Men Volume 2, finishing off the 2-volume classic X-Men collection before they got canceled until, like, Giant Size X-Men, what eventually would become Uncanny, came around. Thank you for joining me here in the Call Comics. My name is Aaron, and I'll see you here next time. By the way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to all that jazzy stuff. We got a Patreon, so if you want to join that, click the link down below and join me there for even more exclusive fun videos. And you want to super sticker, super chat, or donate, feel free to do so. Much appreciated. But above all, enjoy the video, enjoy the channel, and let me know what you're collecting.